We're here in Elkhart, Indiana, outside of Grand Design's customer support facility. This place is massive. I think it's over 600 feet long and who knows how deep, completely dedicated to customer service. Just like we care about our customers at the Leisure Days RV Group, we have your back, but it's nice to know that Grand Design has your back too and are committed to customer service. We're gonna go inside and take a peek. We're here with Nathan at Grand Design Solitude Factory that makes Solitude and Influence lines. Nathan, thanks for having us.
No, thank you for coming.
So I always love starting where the frames come into the factory. It's really where the rubber starts to meet the road. And I noticed a couple things right away that you don't always see. I know it looks like it's a really nice powder coated frame and that slide system goes through the frame. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's a couple slide systems. There's through frame slides, and of course there's also the ones that are supported by the wall, which is smaller slide rooms, which is Slim Rack or Schwintech. But being through the frame, these are going to be heavier duty. They're going to be able to take a lot more weight. And something really cool about our frames also, it's actually a true wide body. So that basically means from outrigger to outrigger, it's actually a 101 wide, which allows us to actually, the mechanism for the rack and pinion, it's within the two main frames, which basically protects it.
So here it looks like you turn the frames upside down and then you start putting axles on and your water tanks, holding tanks, etc. I also noticed really quick when I look at those axles, they're pretty beefy. You guys use a different type of axle? Or?
So we use Dexter 8,000 pound axle as a standard. Okay. Because a lot of companies out there use 7,000 pounds. You can actually upgrade to 8,000. We just went standard 8,000 pounds. That's why those look so, sturdy.
Yeah, no, those are massive. And what's the advantage of going to something larger if you don't have to?
Basically, more carrying capacity. As the industry has gotten more popular, a lot of people are actually, a lot of our customers are actually full-time in Solitudes and Momentums. And when you full-time, you without knowing, you can be easily overweight.
Oh, sure.
And so now we give the customers the peace of mind of having actually more carrying capacity.
Something else I noticed too, and I see it up front, regardless of where the holding tanks are, you've got these extra support bars. Is that just extra reinforcement because those tanks get heavy once they're filled?
100%, yeah. So those actually are put there, especially for the freshwater. If people that like to dry camp, like we always advise, if you're gonna dry camp, try to fill up at the nearest place where you're gonna dry camp to.
Sure.
But those are there for just peace of mind. Like just our black and grays also have a nice bar underneath them, just in case you ever have to travel with your tanks full of liquid in them.
The camper gets flipped upside down, tires are put on, rubber meets the road like we said. Now they're gonna start putting their insulation in. And I know when we were talking a little bit earlier, there's a lot of insulation. You mentioned that campers like to full-time. So you have the extra beefier axles, so you can have more carrying capacity, but it looks like you have more insulation. So we're jumping ahead right now and we're gonna take a look at their floor system. And this is really neat too, really heavy duty cranes. The floor gets assembled upside down, which is neat. And this is a one piece, it's a marine grade flooring system, correct?
You got it, yep.
So what's the advantage of one piece?
So we eliminate the seams, and by eliminating seams, you eliminate any potential soft spots.
And one of the neat things here, if you take a peek, you can see this whole system come together. You've got this radiant foil enclosed underbelly system. You're gonna have the fiberglass barrier. You're gonna have, this is called a Darko wrap, which is another waterproof vapor barrier. And that's gonna wrap around the floor. So you've got really like a double seal, right?
You do, correct. Yeah. You have a double seal on that.
And I don't see a lot of holes cut into this floor. Like a lot of times you'll see vents or whatnot. How do you do your heating? How do you get heat up into the camper?
Yeah, great question. So we don't like to put vents on the floor. Number one, when hot air rises, so when you're actually blowing hot air straight up, it's just gonna rise straight up. Second, we want dirt and debris to go to those vents that are on the floor. So we blow our warm air, our hot air from a furnace, actually horizontally to actually spread the warm air throughout the unit better before it rises. And that allows us to actually eliminate any of the vents on the floor itself to basically eliminate any potential weak spots or dirt and debris pet hair going into the vent itself and making a mess.
So you'll notice you won't see the vents in the floor, but you'll put, I'm guessing, cabinets or different things as the camper gets built up.
Islands, yep, interior walls, cabinetry, exactly.
It looks like you have some type of stabilizer or leveling system that looks pretty heavy duty. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, that's our auto leveling system that is used in basically reflection and up. Reflection, solitude, momentums. Cool thing about that, when you basically pull up to the campground, unhook your vehicle, press the auto level, it's going to actually level your unit plus stabilize it so you can camp in it.
Oh, that's awesome. I do have a question.
Yeah.
Because I've seen this when I've camped. I don't have it on mine, but I would love it. Can you press a button and it'll lift it up to where you can just back your camper under and remembers where your height is?
It does,
Oh,
yes,
man.
yep. So basically there's a program that it will memorize the truck height. All you got to do is basically hold 2 buttons down, take it to that height.
Nice.
And you can actually
So you
pull your
literally back in, touch a button, comes off,
Yeah.
touch another button, levels.
You got
and when
it.
you're ready to camp, you touch a button, it gets back up to where you need to hook up.
Yes.
And then you're good to go.
Very convenient, very functional.
That is awesome.
We have 13 different departments. Something really cool about Grand Design is our process is very similar in all our lines. What's going to change, of course, is from travel trailer to fifth wheel. But when it comes down, something, if you actually look around, these are very large plants. In Grand Design, we designed them that way because we want to minimize outsourcing.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of different departments that our stuff comes to us raw. We assemble it, we QC it, and then we install it.
Nice.
Versus basically getting outsourced, bringing it in, just installing it itself.
You mentioned something earlier I thought that was fascinating, was that your production managers and line workers design the factory. Is that true?
That's really cool because I've been here long enough that a lot of these plants are new, and sure enough, our basically plant managers with their line leaders, group leaders, designed the factory how they wanted it for efficiency.
So all these parts are behind us where we just walk through, I mean, really just a sliver of the size of the factory. And like Nathan was saying, here's where stuff gets packaged. But if you look at the end, you can see numbers on the back wall, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, but it goes up to 20. That means they've got 20 semi-trucks that they can back up to this facility to load parts to take to our dealerships or your other Grand Design dealers in the service network to be able to service whatever Grand Design product you buy in a timely manner. That's really awesome. And I think that's at the core of what you said. It's that integrity and why you love working here, right? This is something that's cool that you don't always see because your camper gets built around this. Actually, I always notice this with Grand Design stuff, is you've got this massive pass-through storage that's like it's unobstructed. And I know the camper's not built yet, and we'll see it later.
Yeah.
But man, that's huge. It looks like you have a heat duct going into it. You got this really solid aluminum framing.
It's the way we accomplished that, if you look at it, it's called the drop frame chassis. And we dropped that frame for just more space because we know how important space is for campers.
Yeah. So this is something that's really neat when we were talking about the floor system too. If you take a closer look, you'll see these, I think they call these huck bolts or through frame bolts.
Carriage bolts.
Carriage bolts. Yeah, makes sense. We're in Amish country, right?
Yeah.
This is that Darko wrapping that comes around, right? And then you've got these carriage bolts that bolt through the floor, through the frame, and are actually bolted on. It's not like a self-tapping screw or something that goes on. And that's all the way up and down the camper. And I guess that with their one-piece seamless floor, and that's a pretty solid floor system.
It is a very,
This suspension system, what does that do for the camper?
Yeah, and that's a great question. It's the Morite CRE 3000, and actually it's a 3-inch rubber in there that's going to basically, before it bottoms out, so it's going to, what's going to do is going to, when the wheels hit any potholes, any shock, it's going to absorb that shock before transferring into the body itself, so give you a lot more longevity in the unit.
And this is upside down, and I should have noticed it earlier, but Cooper Tires, I recognize that name.
Yeah.
And then it's an H. It looks like it says an H. And it's every letter is a ply, right?
You got it.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H.
You got it.
So how many plies is that?
That's 16.
Jeez, oh Pete, that's a big deal.
Yeah, these are the best tires in the market with the ply. I mean, these are heavy duty, 17 and a half, 8-rated tires. Like you said, 16 ply tires. Nothing but praise on these tires from our customers that are currently using them.
Well, that's awesome. So now, cabinet shop, looks like the camper's starting to come together.
It is. So as you can see, we'll start putting a lot of the interior components in that you can't fit through, you know, windows or doors, like the shower island. So we'll try to get a lot of stuff in there before actually the walls do go up.
This looks like it's got some suspension to it too. What can you tell me about the pin
It does,
box?
yeah. So this is a Moride hitch pin. If you can see the rubber pin in there, what that's going to do is going to give you a 3-inch ride to the floor, backwards, 1.5 to the sides. What that's going to do is eliminate a lot of chucking. It's called chucking you get. If you were to actually tow something on metal, you'll feel a lot of chucking from your truck to the unit. With that rubber protection there, it eliminates that.
So as you're starting and stopping and that weight of the camper, weight of the car, that damper is going to absorb that shock and make it just a smoother ride.
Smoother ride.
Yeah. There's still aluminum structure in their front wall, and I'm guessing this is going to probably be a closet in the fifth wheel. A lot of the Solitudes have these really wonderful bedrooms. So you don't have to do aluminum there, right?
You don't. That's a great question. That's something that's really cool. So just to keep in mind something, what we like to do is we like to have 4 weight-bearing walls. You know, weight-bearing walls. So when you put the roof on, if you don't actually frame the front nose in and you just put a fiberglass and glue on, that's not a weight-bearing. So you'll have 3 weight-bearing walls. Grand Design, we like to actually put framing into the front cap for strength, for it to support the roof better. It's going to be a lot better for the quality of the unit.
So here's this slide room, and this is pretty neat to see how it's put together. And it looks like you guys, as you're building it, you try to protect everything. You've got your range here, your microwave, and I'm guessing this is the refrigerator?
Yes. Yep, refrigerator.
That thing's huge. That's a 12 volt.
It's a 12 volt.
That's a good brand name too, right?
It is. Norco is a very good brand name. So it's a basically, we laminate
before I forget.
both side walls of the side room. Of course, the front we laminate with the wall. That's going to meet up again. And even the roof is laminated on this. Very sturdy side room. That's why if you ever see a sticker that says hit here, because you can hit here and you can actually see how sturdy it is.
Yeah, it doesn't flex, right? It's just, well, I mean, that's got to be a similar philosophy to the front wall thing you just told me about, right? Where you have this full box built, right?
You got it, full box built. You want to keep this, you want this sturdy as possible to stay as square as possible, so it continues to actually function properly.
Yeah, and this is cool too. I'm guessing there's going to be a fireplace there. And then you have this really nice lift, so your TV's hidden. So you can be, you know, across in your living area, looking out a nice window when you're not watching TV. And when you are, that pops up. When you're not, it gets out of the way.
The functionality is big with Grand Design. So yes, that can hide. You can use that as counter space. And you can also use the window for views.
Nice. This is your flooring material, and it's not carpet.
It's not carpet, correct. So our customers are saying, get rid of carpet, get rid of carpet. So we went to actually Congolium all throughout the unit now.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, do you mind if we keep going?
Let's do it.
Oh, here's something that's really cool. These are graphics package or decals, decals as we call them in Canada. I love it. Here's a Momentum. It's a 2017 M-Class. They still have graphics for it on the shelf. That's something that's really neat. You don't always see that.
Actually, these bends were made by Cassie. She had her team made these. So we have no fold in the decals.
Stuff just sits perfect. That's really cool.
Go right around the unit.
So look at this. Here's a 2018 Momentum M-Class, 2018 Blue, 2020 Momentum. Really cool. Nice. These are the sidewalls that go on, right?
Sidewalls, yeah. And something to really look at these sidewalls is you look at all the windows, compartment doors, entrance doors, everything's framed in.
Oh, like this right here.
Yeah.
Again, it's aluminum, right?
It's aluminum frame, yes.
Nice.
We actually do our own lamination.
Sure.
It's a temperature control facility. A lot of details here, we won't get into it.
Sure.
But we are so confident in our lamination process that we actually cover D-Lam in our 3-year structural warranty.
Wow.
Yeah?
Okay.
It's pretty rare in the industry.
Nice. Now this looks really shiny too. And then I don't know, is this is, it looks like it's a wall and that's where the slide out's going to come out. Do you actually put the same slide out back in the camper so each sidewall gets the same cutout?
Yes, Dave. I'm glad you probably, yep, 100%. So each of our walls that we laminate, we have a VIN number, not just a model number. There's a VIN number on that wall because we tested it and things like that. And of course, another thing we want to do is have the plant here, cut out the side room, put the VIN number on that side room, hand built the side room on the back side here, and then meet up with the same wall it was laminated with.
So this then, slide rooms, your slide out gets cut out, and then after that happens, the slide or the sidewalls will go onto the side of the camper, right?
You got it, yes.
And this is a pretty thick, you mentioned a lot of your customers and campers like to do 4-season or extended season camping in it, but this looks like it's a pretty thick sidewall, and you see some of that extra radiant foil here too, and it looks like it's everywhere.
It is. So we have, actually, the way we insulate the unit is you got, thermal foil in the neck, underbelly, and the nose, and also the roof.
Okay.
Plus fiberglass insulation on basically the underbelly, roof, nose, and neck.
Nice.
We're trying to wrap it. The reason we wrap it like that is, like, as we all know, cold air sinks and hot air rises.
Sure. So this is really cool too. So this is that, it's a different slide room, but this is a slide room getting ready to go inside the camper, and it's going to be cut from this same sidewall. And you said that there's a VIN on here somewhere.
Yep,
I'm sure
you
there
can't
is.
see anymore, so it would be right here. But as we built the wall already, they hit the VIN number. But yes, this side, this front here, was laminated with this wall in our Plant 2 lamination facility.
Nice.
And so we're very strict about that.
Yeah.
We're very strict about having tight tolerances.
Nice. And this is the campsite too. Look at how huge those windows are.
They are very big, and sunlight, just to look out, but just a lot of things why, and they open up too.
Nice.
That's something very important.
Cool. And then like magic, you snap your fingers and the slide room's in. I know fifth wheels in the same class as a Solitude or Momentum are going to have a molded fiberglass cap, but this is really neat. Looks like it has some paint on it.
It does.
It's really nice looking too.
Yep, it's a painted front cap, even though we're doing decals. So, and the reason we want a painted front cap is we know the nose is going to take a lot of punishment as we travel.
Sure.
So we wanted to give it a better coat for longevity.
So this is neat, Nathan. We're looking at the top of the camper now, right? And I noticed that your ductwork looks a little bit unique. It almost looks like a figure eight or something like that as you go down.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, great question. This is called the racetrack ducting system. The reason it's called a racetrack is it's actually shaped like a racetrack. This actually, there's no dead spots. So there's not like an S or an I type of ducting system where there's dead ends. This basically is the air flows all the way around, which this system here gives us about 30% more airflow throughout the unit.
And these rafters look pretty beefy too, don't they?
Yeah, these are actually steam bed rafters that are kept in place by nail plates, residential nail plates like homes. They're 16 inches on centered.
Nice.
For full weight bearing, but very strong roof.
Yeah,
so.
And even some of them too, it looks like this is where the AC is going to go. They're doubled up, aren't they?
You got it. We double up the AC ones for strength.
Nice.
But something I point out real quick. So if you see that, you can see the thermal foil already. The reason is, so one thing we're doing at Grand Design, we're trying to eliminate shakedown, which is something in the industry.
Yeah.
So we pre-cut everything before we install it.
Yeah.
Instead of it cutting on the unit where there's a lot of dust that goes in.
So you're talking about this piece over here. I've never seen that before. So if you take a peek, that's that thermal foil. So the AC hole is going to be pre-cut, and then you still have that thermal foil there too.
You got it. So basically what the norm is, you put the roof decking on, and then you cut everything while it's on the deck. So we pre-cut it to eliminate that shakedown, to minimize shakedown if we can. Can't eliminate it.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to eliminate it, but that's a really nice step too, right? And it's clean. It looks like, they have air hoses and everybody blows it off, but they're not blowing it into the hole, into the camper.
You got it.
So it's going to be less cleaning for everybody down the road.
100%. And that's better for the customer.
That's awesome. So I loved seeing how you underneath this roof membrane that we just saw recently, but when I'm looking at the top of this camper, the Solitude, I noticed that there's 3 ACs on there and there's solar panels. It looks pretty heavy duty.
It is. It's very heavy duty. We, with the 3 ACs, we actually put 2 standard, but we do give an option for our dealer body to make that, to give it a third, or our customers. Yeah. And actually, most dealers do put that 3rd AC in there. Yes, the solar panels, those are 330 watt solar panels. A lot of people think, oh, solar panels, what are those for? Those are actually helping the units because they're gonna charge your battery, keep your battery charged, so you can actually, what batteries help, they benefit your lights, your slide rooms, things like that are basically, you don't have to actually be plugged in to actually use.
So one of the things when I see all this heavy duty equipment up top and it's a larger camper, You talked earlier about full-timing or extended season camping. Are these actually designed for full-time use?
Yes, they actually, we do not void the warranty for people that choose to live in our units.
Wow.
So you'll see in our brochures or our warranty papers that we send out, there's no fine print saying if you live this more than 6 months or anything like that. We say this is your home, we will still back you up.
So right now we're in final finish, correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is a neat place to see a camper. Really, it's when everything comes together and it gets, theoretically, it's final inspection. Normally, isn't this where a camper would ship to a dealer, but not at Grand Design?
So Grand Design raised the bar on a lot of things. So one of the things I'm really glad they raised the bar on was 100% PDI, pre-delivery inspection. So what the norm was in the past, they would grab this unit, and this unit was ready to be shipped to the dealer, sold, and ready to be camped in. But one thing Grand Design saw is that, so we wanted to actually PDI, pre-delivery inspect every single unit. So this unit will get shipped, but not to the dealer yet. It will be shipped to actually our PDI facility.
So another facility within this facility.
You got it.
And it's completely separate from production.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
so different people looking at it.
Different people looking at it.
Okay.
Those, these people here still actually report to our plant manager. The people over there report to our VP of service.
Yeah, and I took a peek inside of it. I mean, inside this front storage compartment, there's really no debris. I peeked inside. It does look like it's ready to go already.
And they take pride. Something I've talked to people in the line before. They want this unit to actually be ready to camp in.
Nice.
They want to eliminate the PDI facility because they take pride in it. So
Nice.
It's really cool to see that they take pride in it, but it's still going to get an extra check even after it gets shipped out.
Nice.
There. So like I said, one of the things I said earlier is we listen to our customers. Our customers want a hitch to actually, because bikes are very important, especially the e-bikes. It's actually getting popular. So we wanted something that's very strong. So this actually has a 300-pound carrying capacity, 3,000-pound towing capacity to it.
3,000 pound towing capacity.
And 3,000
So like
carrying.
I could tow, I know I've seen it before when I'm traveling. You can tow a boat behind this?
You actually, if it's within that 3,000 pounds.
And depending on the state laws or
100%.
provincial laws,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
So this is fantastic. This is what I love to see. Like, I don't even know what's wrong, but this tape is saying that there's something wrong, and it's probably this little dent.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. You caught it. It's probably that dent right there. And, that unit would have been shipped out to the customer. The customer probably would have saw that. The customer probably been fine with that.
Yeah.
But they just made a big investment, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we want it to be as perfect as possible. We're not going to be completely perfect, but we want to actually catch things like that. So we do a 400 plus point inspection to these units. And I still remember when I've been here 7 years. 7 years ago, we were at 250. But it's funny, things evolve, correct? We get better. We add more. So we're now up to 400 plus. But it's a thorough, I've been here, I've seen it. It's such a thorough inspection that's very impressive.
Nice. So here's something else that's really neat too. And a couple things I think I'm noticing just by looking at it. See if I can pull this down, but that looks like it's a tankless water heater.
You got it, tankless water heater.
What's the advantage of that?
So it's basically on-demand hot water.
Okay.
Yep. You get it a lot faster.
Nice.
Very efficient.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Always want a nice hot shower. Maybe not today, but this is neat too. And this is one of the things I like about it. And it's finished really nice. But we talked about those enclosed tank valves and things like this.
Yes.
This says black tank and gray tank. It looks like you have a water filtration system and everything's in a real handy spot that's enclosed, right? When you shut this baggage door, everything's enclosed.
Yep.
What do you call that?
So we call this the novelist system.
Okay.
And it's basically the utility. That's the heart of the unit. That's where basically when people pull up to camp, that's where they're going to go to actually set up their camper. That is your leveling. Your auto leveling for your legs.
Okay.
So to actually stabilize your unit. Remember we talked about that earlier today?
No, so you literally walk out of your truck, you can hit that button, pull your truck away, then hit auto level, hook up all your cables.
You got it.
And you're ready to go.
You got it.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. So functionality, very important for us.
Awesome. Hey, well, Nathan, I appreciate the time. I know it's not often you get to see the behind-the-scenes tour of a Solitude factory. Really cool to see. And again, Leisure Days RV Group carries these at 1,000 Islands RV and Big Country RV. Grand Design has an inside sales team, so if you need to talk with one of them, in addition to some member of our service and sales team, please feel free to do so, and make sure you come out and visit. I think you're going to like what you see.
Yeah, because we do factory tours for our customers, so you kind of got iceberg type of tour right now. But our tours for customers, they're about 2.5 hours long.
Oh, wow.
Because we get into detail. They get to see lamination, they get to see the plant, and we go into detail about everything.
Nice.
So
Cool.
we're very proud of what we build. We have nothing to hide, so that's what we have. We do tours Monday through Thursday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I need to sign up for one of those.
You should.
All right.
You should.
Hey, Nathan, thanks again.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much. Appreciate you
All right.
coming.